Hi, and welcome back to my blog .stampwithelaine.com. We've got Father's Day coming up fairly soon, so I thought I'd do a couple of masculine cards. We will do a variation of this using this stamp set called Look Up to Father. It's currently in the Spring-Summer catalogue, and I don't believe it's going to transfer to the main catalogue next year. So if you like the stamp set, then I suggest you purchase it before it expires on the 30th of June. I have cut my stamp and put the wording here so that it's separate from the main stamp, and the tree is on its own. I've mounted the tree on the back of the stamp and I've put the wording on the end. I will also be using this stamp set called Hardwood. It's a background stamp, and they're great for masculine cards. My card base has been cut lengthways out of an A4 sheet. In Europe, our A4 sheet is a slightly different size to the ones in the States. So this card base has been cut at 11 and a half by 4 inches, and in centimetres that will be 10.2 centimetres by 29.2 centimetres, and then it's scored at 5 3/4 inches, which is 14.6 centimetres. I have cut a mat in Cajun Craze for the inside of the card, and that measures 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 5 1/2 by 3 3/4, and in centimetres that would come up at 14 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. And then for my card insert inside, I've cut a piece of very vanilla cardstock, which is 5 1/4 inches by 3 1/2 inches, and in centimetres that will come up as 13.4 centimetres by 8.8 centimetres. First I'm going to take the hardwood stamp and ink it up in Marina Mist. Then I'll place my cardstock onto the block, or rather the stamp. Take a scratch piece of paper and rub over it to create my background. Next I'll take the Cajun Craze layer, which I'm matting with, and I'm just going to punch out a label. That's sort of making the best use of the cardstock, using the modern label punch. Then I'll set the label aside and apply some Tombow glue. And then glue it onto my card base, the inside of the card base, making sure I have an equal border all round. Next you need this Windows Framelit collection, and counting from the centre, the one in the centre being the smallest, you need the 3rd and 4th largest ones to cut your frame. So you need your magnetic platform, a pair of cutting plates, lay your cardstock, this is Cajun Craze, a scrap of Cajun Craze, and pop your frame on top of the magnetic platform, on top of the cutting plate, and then you're ready to run it through the big shot, so I'll do that off camera. So there's the frame cut. And now we need to cut an aperture there. This time you'll need to use the smaller of the window framelit. Pop your cutting plate on there, your cardstock, centre this on your card, pop the top cutting plate on, and then run it through the big shot. Now I've cut the aperture out. I can put those away, and now I just need to stamp on there and make sure it's centered around the window frame that I've just cut out. So Tombow on the back of this, now I'm going to ink up the stamp. The stamp's called Look Up Farther, and I'm using markers for this because I want to stamp two colours on the same stamp. So I'll ink up the tree trunk first. So using the flat of my brush tip, the marker has a journaling end, and where you see the thicker line here, that's the brush end. So I'm just going to colour the trunk, and probably see a branch here or there. And this is Gumball Green, and that's one of the colours in the 2012-2014 in colours, so these will be retiring shortly. They will no longer be available as of the 30th of June. So again, using the flat of my marker, I'm going to colour the tree and the foliage on the tree. I'm trying to work quickly so that the ink doesn't dry. And then when you finish, you need to huff on it. And bring my card back and make sure that's central, and stamp on it. So it gives a lovely effect. I'll bring back a piece of scrap very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to be using this teeny tiny sentiments stamp set. It's got lots and lots of sentiments on it, and there's something for every occasion. The one I'm using is Happy Birthday, so I'm going to stamp that in Marina Mist. Bring back my modern label punch and punch that out. I'll bring back the Cajun Craze modern label punch I punched out before, and I'm just going to cut that in half. And then glue that onto the back of this. And do the same for the other side. So there's my dimensionals. Just to save time, I'll pop that down there, and then the little frame that I cut out before, apply glue to that. Just a little sliver so that doesn't seep out into the card and make a mess of it. I think I've got too much glue there, so I'll probably take a bit off. Then pop that on, and that's the card finished. And last of all, some candy dots, and I think this is the Regals collection. Just pop one there. And one there. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. It just goes to show you that by using the same stamp and same window framelits and background stamp, you can still come up with quite a nice variety of cards. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Thanks for watching, and come back for more inspiration another time. Bye!